Perfect. So we'll get started now. My name is Majid. I'm the Chief of Operations on the Taboo project. We have James, our CEO, here on the call. We're very, very happy to be on this call. We run many, many AMAs throughout our history on Taboo, and we're excited to have a conversation with all of you, provide updates, and continue on this trajectory that we have, that we know, that we feel is inevitable. See, I understand right now the market is in a state of panic, is in a state of fear, but I want you to know that James and I, we have no fear. We're not here to allow external conditions to control our trajectory and what we are aiming to build. In fact, with everything that's going on, it has actually fueled us and motivated us even more. See, in a time where all these other projects are in panic and fear, we look at this as an opportunity to be ready for the next cycle. And this is why we are making extreme and drastic preparations in the interim right now. We have done and we are committing to many, many different objectives that we have shared in various updates, one of which includes updating our taboo.community website for our brand positioning. Our updated UI and UX on our marketplace is coming. We are working on crypto partnerships. We are going to expand our personnel to ensure that we can scale. Our taboo punks, yes, some of you, I understand, are not happy about the fact that it hasn't been released yet, but we understood that launching a collection like this with a utility as big as the taboo punks, it is not right to release it very quickly, understanding that we need to have marketing in place. And this is something that I've been working on very, very hard, because I believe these taboo punks, they will actually do very well. Female NFTs are hot right now. Adult female NFTs are even hotter. And our taboo punks have utility where, so long as the taboo brand keeps growing, their value inherently grows as well. So this is a unique opportunity for all of us. But here's the thing that I want to share with all of you, and it is a slight disappointment in my mind. When we look around in the markets today and we see what's going on, what I don't like is if my mind and my eyes are off the Telegram chat for no more than a few hours at times, people come in and they start to FUD, they start to complain. There have been a lot of crazy allegations around the core team, around Taboo, and I'm here to address that right now. We have spent millions of dollars out of our own pocket. You look on BSC scan, there is not a single team token that has been sold. We have been fully invested in this to ensure that all of our investors are not only happy, but rewarded. But this is a long game. This is not a get rich quick scheme. If any of you have thought that this is a project where you can get rich quick, I am sorry, we are not that project for you, because we are thinking 3 to 5 to 10 years from now on building this global powerhouse brand. You know, the one thing that I believe, which is very important for us to understand, is time in the market is more important than timing. We need to remember this. And the most important thing that you can do, if any of you are quote unquote down on your investment, dollar cost average. It is the way to build wealth. And this is an opportunity right now for all of you to accumulate more Taboo if you actually believe in the project that we're building. You know, I look around us, I see what's going on, and I say to myself, we are blessed and we are privileged for the position that we're in. We're still the number one adult entertainment token. We're still pioneering this space. Nobody compares to us in terms of the model partners that we have, in terms of the business model that we have, in terms of the team that is behind this project that is not giving up. See, I am a firm believer in this quote: when there is a will, there is a way. And at the end of the day, be rest assured that no matter the circumstances, we are right there with the pedal to the metal, gas to the floor, pushing forward. And the price is not relevant for us right now. To some of you, it is. And I empathize with individuals that might have bought our top or bought at a higher price. But for James and I, it's irrelevant because it's about building the foundation, building the blueprint, and being ready for the next cycle. And with every consequence that we see out there in the markets, we find a way to turn it around. In fact, one thing I will share, we launched in a bear market and we got through it. This is not our first rodeo. We've been through it before and we are more than equipped to go through it again. You know, I think a lot of holders today, and I empathize with each and every one of you with what is going on. You know, I want us all to come together and to remember why we invested in Taboo in the first place. If you arm yourselves with that knowledge and you arm yourselves with those facts, it will help ease those concerns for you. Because at the end of the day, as James and I always say, we are still a safe, legitimate, long term project, and we are not giving up, and we are continuously ramping up our activity levels and units of activity to continue to grow this brand. And this should be a reassurance for all of you. There is so much that we have done, if we look back in our last year, that we can be grateful and happy for. And there is so much more that is going to happen this year. But you need to give it time. A, a garden of plants, when you're watering and nurturing it, it doesn't grow overnight. But what we will see and what you all see is the finished product. But none of you know what is going on in the background. For example, with the Taboo Punks, it is not an easy process, by the way, to get all of that ready to ensure the mass mint and the airdrops there. But once that happens, we're all going to be happy. Once the markets go up and the price is up, everyone is happy. But the moment the price goes down a little bit, people are complaining and seem to be more vocal than they were ever. And we're used to this and we're okay with it. But I want you all to know, and this is one of the reasons that we're on this call. There's two reasons we're on this call. One, I want to give reassurance to our investors and to ensure they understand that our community and investors are our number one priority right now. And two, if anyone has suggestions and they want to provide feedback and they actually show a collective effort in helping us raise this money, we're happy to hear it. But what we won't stand for is outlandish accusations and types of criticisms that have no relevance in truth. You know, at this moment, with everything that's going on in the markets and all of that, with the fear and the fear index high, I want to give a bit of a background for you before we move forward on really the reasons and why this is going on. You know, when we look at Bitcoin and we look at the price of Bitcoin and where it is, what really is happening is a liquidation war is going on right now. There are proponents at the moment who want to see Bitcoin get to 100K plus, but we have leverage traders on the other side that are always suppressing the price, whether they're longing or shorting. So when I saw what happened yesterday, when Bitcoin went to 43K very quickly and then down to 39, hundreds of millions of dollars was liquidated out of Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the other top cryptos. This is an intentional shakedown right now, is what's going on. And people that are selling early and selling in panic at a loss are exiting themselves from the crypto market. And this is not what we want for all of you. See, at this moment in time, we are at a very, very pivotal point in our project. We are going to have myself and possibly James live on air with CNBC, Bloomberg, and Fox News. We all know what happened to Solano the moment that went on. In fact, we pushed back that interview date. not because we didn't want to run it. It's because, as James always says, we want to maximize the potential of any marketing initiative that we do. And in the meantime, we are brand positioning ourselves and improving on that to ensure that at the stage of growth that we're at, when a new eye hears and sees about Taboo, they want to learn more. They want to buy Taboo. They want to hold Taboo. They want to get onto the marketplace and they want to be involved with our community. So, to us, what has gone on is irrelevant. In fact, I'm not only very calm right now, I am even more confident about where Taboo is headed this year. And I want all of us to understand and feel the same way. You know, I think maybe James is here on the call as well. This project, I want you all to know this is our life. We will not stop until Taboo gets to where it needs to be, which is not only staying as the number one adult entertainment crypto token, but getting to top 10. I always say this, we will get to top 10. And this is my belief, and it hasn't faltered, it hasn't changed. But if we're looking at day-to-day price swings on a project or a token, whether it's a stock or it's an investment, you're going to drive yourselves mad. Put your phones down, set it and forget it, stake Taboo, let us do what we do best because we always deliver on our promises. Anyone that says we don't is wrong. What we couldn't control are events that happened to us outside of our control. I understand that the first launch of our marketplace did not go as planned. Was there deceit? Was there lying on the behalf of the dev team that we had? I don't know. All I know is it didn't go the way that we planned. But we have since rectified many, many things from there, and we will continue to do so. And we're going to continue to push and move forward regardless of what is happening around us. And James, would you like to add any other points on this at the moment before I move forward?
Yes. So, good evening, guys, and thanks for joining us today on this relatively short notice AMA that Majid and I have, decided to move forward with. I know it was only around 12 hours ago that we sort of gave you the heads up for it, but thank you for joining. So, yeah, I mean, look, following on from what Majid just quite rightly said, I as a lot of you know, I'm UTC +7. And I woke up this morning and, I was relatively disappointed to a certain extent to see, some of the comments that were being shared and passed over the Telegram chat, which is why, I jumped on a call with Majid more or less simultaneously and said, look, let's actually set up, a voice call with the community, and let's actually get on a call, listen to you guys. Let's actually have an open discussion about what is really going on, because actually, the facts of the matter are, it's not just Taboo. Taboo is actually performing fantastically well. We're sat relatively strongly at $50 million of market cap. We're not even 9 months old as a project. We've only just actually launched our, working product, and we're sat at $50 million worth of market cap. We're sat at 200x from launch. And something that, really does grind my gears, and this is something that I mention to Majid regularly, is whether our market cap is $1 million, $5 million, $50 million, or $500 million, or even 5 billion, that does not have an effect on what Majid and I have come to do. We have it set out, laid out in front of us, what we're looking to achieve with this project, where we're looking to take it, and the foundations that have been laid, and what we're looking to do moving forward. The price does not have an impact at all on what Majid, I, and the team are here to do with Taboo. Now, there's a lot of people, as Majid just quite rightly said, a lot of people that are wanting to get rich quick. Now, the fact of the matter is, as we've always said, we are a long-term project. That doesn't mean, that we're not going to have a week where, we've doubled, tripled, or even, quadrupled in price. But what it means is that because we're a long-term project, what happened, back in November where we, hit $500 million worth of market cap was fantastic. But was it sustainable? I don't know. We touched it,
Definitely, yeah.
on these very, very bullish times in November. And now all of a sudden, we're at $50 million of market cap, and it's, the worst thing that's ever happened. And, we've dropped significant amounts of market cap. We're down. But actually, in one of the private chats that we have on Telegram, one of our moderators has just sent a table of all different top 20 cryptos. And, the likes of Dogecoin are down 80-90% from its all-time high.
No, but that's from the start of this year, from what I think that it showed. I believe that's what it was showing there.
Yeah, so from Dogecoin's all-time high in 2021, right now it's sat down right now it's set at 82% down from its all-time high. So not too dissimilar to us. So, this is just part of the course. It's natural. We are a lot smaller projects than these big names. So just like we have bigger rallies, we will also have, bigger swings on the way down too. And, that was the reason why I just wanted to get on this call to speak to you, to hear your feedback. I think it's healthy for you guys to hear Majid's and I's voice, and to also understand, look, the price to a lot of people represents the success of our project. But for me, that isn't the case. The market cap, to me, doesn't represent how successful we are or are not as a business. Our business, as far as I'm concerned, has never been in a better position. We have never been in a position as good as what we are now, set up, ready, with the likes of the CNBC, the Fox News and Bloomberg, which we are waiting to take advantage of. But guys, it doesn't bode well when we are about to have interviews of this nature. When you look in our Telegram chat, I mean, it's far from professional. And Majid, I think you'll also agree and back me up on that. We are in talks with these top 5 exchanges, but what's going on in the chat? And Majid, I think it was only a few days ago when I said to you, I'm in two minds whether to just do announcements only for the time being, because we're not emotional therapists here to carry people through these difficult times, when I believe that there's a lot of people in the community that are actually taking their anger out on Taboo, when it's, using that as the catalyst, when it's probably a lot of other things.
I mean, I'll add to that. I mean, I received a threat yesterday from a holder, a violent, aggressive threat from a holder. And, when people have been saying, Majid, you need to dox, the team needs to dox, and we will do this. We are going to do this. But, I think people need to really understand that with the market going the way it did, people will always find a person or other thing to blame for their investment decisions. And my God, I was thinking, James, like, if I was doxxed right now, people knew where I lived, over a market condition that had nothing to do with the team. We haven't been selling tokens. We haven't done any of that. In fact, other people have been getting rich, and we're the ones that are actually taking on more risk as we continue to go on further into the project. I'm like, my God, people have the audacity to do that. Unbelievable, right? Yeah. Unbelievable. And I think that people need to remember these 3 words: things take time. Before we launched the marketplace, right? Sure, there was a lot more hype. We get it. But now our project in the nature has changed completely. This is why, for example, like I was on calls last week with, the former head of Playboy magazine, who wants to get involved with our project as a creative director. And I'm looking at how I can onboard this individual, for example, right? It's about partnerships. It's about tech development. It's about roadmap integrations and improvements. It's about doing everything else beyond this traditional hype marketing that may have happened before. That's not our project anymore. it is not our project. So now our holders have to look at the fundamentals and make a decision for themselves if this is a worthwhile investment for them to hold for the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years from now. And, I want to mention in terms of our development, yes, to some of you, it seems like it's going slower than anticipated, but that's because our holders need to understand that now that we are a professional tech-like company, you can't expect a development to happen overnight. I look and I see people saying, when punks, when updated UI, when version 2 phase of our marketplace, when this, when that. It's happening every day. And I mean, I promise you, if I could wave a magic wand and I could speed things up, I would, right? If I can turn the market bullish again, I would. But, the facts are the facts, and we are where we are. And it's about making the most of our situation. James made a very good point on a call with me the other week. He said, this is an opportunity right now for us. It's a privilege for us to prepare ourselves for the next quote unquote bull cycle, and be rest assured we're taking advantage of the opportunity right now. But I want to say one thing before I get into more about the development of Taboo and our roadmap and what to expect for this year, and to also allow our community, instead of really doing questions, I'm happy, and James and I are happy to hear your feedback on what you would like to see this year, or what improvements you would like us to focus on. That is actually what I would like to do for a majority of this call, right? But I want to say one thing. I think some people are taking for granted, myself being a C-level executive, James being a C-level executive, in a traditional business, in many other crypto projects, you never hear from these people in the C-level positions. I think some of us are taking for granted our devotion to our active community support. So at the very least, I would hope and expect there is some level of respect given in return, because otherwise I can very well just do what they all do, and just, you will not hear from me. And I have the full right and prerogative to do that. James has the full right and prerogative to do that. In fact, James tells me sometimes, you don't have to be all that active in there, but I choose to be. Does that make sense? So we need to not take that for
And
granted.
I think, and Majid, just following up on what you just mentioned,
Yeah,
and that's something that you and I have done from the start, and I actually enjoy it. I like to be on a personal level with the community, because ultimately, like I've always said, we essentially work for you guys. We're here to do
absolutely.
what we feel is best, to take on board your feedback. I mean, at the same time, we have some fantastic individuals in our Telegram group. I mean, the best I've ever seen. I won't mention any names because I wouldn't like to miss anybody out, but some of the feedback that some of you guys come back with, rest assured, mark my words, nothing goes missed. And Majid and I have, a book of notes with all of these fantastic ideas that you guys are coming up with. But, like Majid said, it is just about showing a little bit of respect and ultimately a bit of decorum. Where we're looking to go with this project and what we're looking to do. It's the same people that are saying, oh, when's the next top 5 listing going to happen, are the same people that are basically making, false accusations and telling us that everything we're doing is wrong and all of the rest of it. Well, those sort of things don't really go together. You're not going to list on a top 5 exchange if, your opinions are right on what you're saying. So it's just, creating the image, setting the tone on who we are, what we're looking to do. Nothing's changed as far as Majid and I are concerned since day one. All that's changed is just, the sentiment that is going on right now in the whole of crypto, not just Taboo. And, it's just about sticking with it, trust the process. Like I just said, whether we're 1 million, 10 million, 100 million, or $1 billion of market cap, that will not change our journey and our future path that Majid and I have lined up for Taboo, and where it's destined to be over the next month. We just need to maximize the potential, make the most of the next bull cycle, as they would like to call it, the next rally that I think is going to be upon us quite soon. And I'm of the point of view that it's going to be, a lot better than the last one. And I think this will be the making of us, and to, really get our name on the map.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could not agree more there. And just now, I want to get into just a few more tangible type updates right now, and then of course we'll open the floor to the community. First and foremost, our marketplace. Yes, the updated UI and UX is near completion. In fact, what I did myself, and what James and I have done is, regardless of what that updated UI and UX looks like, we actually have another group that is actually creating another one who they say they'll make it better than what we have, and I'm giving them that chance, and they're almost finished it as well. I'm actually going through auxiliary support systems to ensure that whatever we release is of the quality that we like, so that is coming. The Taboo Punks, I'm right at that mass minting stage. There was a little bit of coding changes we had to do on the metadata to ensure that we're not getting this onto OpenSeas on a one by one basis. Instead it can be kind of a mass upload. We have the airdropper individual ready. He finishing up the script for the mass airdrops on the Taboo Punks. You will all get your Taboo Punks. In fact, now I have a list of, in terms of marketing, there's probably 20 different NFT centric entities that I've already looked at, that once I give that tangible launch date, I'm going to be going so hard, and so is James, and so is everyone else on the team, to ensure that the world knows that this is being launched on this day. But again, things take time, and what may feel slow for you is actually strategy for us, right? Now, in terms of our roadmap on our website, the taboo.community website, we did give a very simple 2022 roadmap. I will say most cryptos don't even have their 2022 roadmap up yet, but that is going to be refined and also further updated in the coming weeks in a bit more detail. There will be our phase 2 and phase 3 development of our marketplace completed this year. We will have exclusive events and parties. There will be Taboo Mansion exclusive events and parties as well. There's a lot to look forward to for Taboo. More exchange listings. I told you already, we're onboarding more personnel. We're doing what we can to ensure that the image that we set forth to the world is one of professionalism and class. And this is all happening very, very soon, but we're only 20 days into the new year. Give us that chance. Give us that year. See what happens by the end of the year. I assure you, you will all be happy, right? And I think for right now, we will open up the floor for questions from the community, but feel free to share feedback as well. Feel free. James made a very good point. When people make great suggestions in the chat, I quickly save those suggestions in a separate folder right away, and we review it at a later time. So your suggestions, your feedback, your constructive criticism, as James said, does not go unnoticed.
Exactly, and just to follow up on that, just before we do open the floor to you guys, I'd also like to just say thank you to the individuals that do fill us with motivation and enthusiasm. Sometimes it's not easy, but rest assured, one thing, Majid and I regularly get on calls with each other and motivate each other and push each other. Most people would have broken with some of the comments that, has taken place on the Telegram chat, the accusations that have been thrown about, the threats that Majid and I have got in the direct messages from certain individuals that we're going to be seeing them soon, and this, that, and all of the other. One thing I can wholeheartedly say to you is that we are thick-skinned. It doesn't even faze me. All it simply does is motivates me and pushes me to even push on stronger, harder. And a lot of you guys will know that have been with us from day one. We proved each and everybody wrong when we were $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. And that is what we will keep doing. And rest assured that nobody will faze us and nobody will get Majid and I down, because as I mentioned, the market cap to us is not a dictator on whether we are or are not running a successful, prosperous business. So I just want you guys to know that, all of you, all of the fantastic individuals that are supportive of us, nobody will phase us. We will do what we are set out to do. And it's inevitable, as Majid said, it's just a matter of, when, not a matter of if, just a matter of when we will be a top crypto. That I can assure you of. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Unfortunately, the general conditions, the markets aren't quite working with us at the moment. But I just wanted to, relay that and ultimately say thank you to the positivity that does go on in the chat. It's a pleasure to work with a lot of you guys. So, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say that when we mention market conditions are the way they are, that is not an excuse we're making. That just changes our approach a little bit. And because we've been there before, we know how to be in it and how to get out of it. That's really the experience aspect that James and I have on this project, considering we did launch in a real bear market last year as well. And look where we were now. And, I love what James said about proving people wrong. From the very beginning, people would always say it's never going to work. It's never going to happen this way. And, I personally believe in the idea of manifestation and what you project onto the world, as long as you believe it as to the T and you continue to prove that belief through your work ethic, determination, and discipline, you will get to what you want to get to. And everything that James and I have actually said we would do, we did it. So now we're in a position, same as what we were in May and June last year, where our visions, we're now projecting new visions onto what we want to see in Taboo, and we're going to get there too. So it's no different than last year. It's just now we're a year ahead. Does that make sense, everyone? I want to make that very clear. And I think now, I think we can open up the floor to questions, but also feedback from our community. So feel free.
Hi, I'll kick off. So I think you've mentioned professionalism quite a few times now, and it's great to hear that coming across. Something needs to be really looked at when it comes to the social media side, the way that posts are going out. I see that as a really
and
good
I want you to know I'm
opportunity.
taking notes right now as well. So if I'm quiet, it's because I'm taking notes for any kind of feedback anyone shares. So keep going. Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, it's a good opportunity, obviously, to pull in new investors, for people to be able to, it's the shop window, right? So when it comes to those posts going out, it'd be great to know there's something being done in the background where those posts are being screened, vetted, and just making sure they're going out and having the right impact when they land, rather than being edited and people having to comment on those, within the group.
Mm-hmm. Yes, no, understood. Now here's the thing, James and I are big believers in people that are committed to our project. And what happened, so you're aware, on the social media posts, certain programs that were being used to pre-schedule certain posts, it was actually changing the language a little bit. And since then I've addressed that with our social media manager as well. And we're actually in the process right now of changing the kind of content that we release out to the public. And there is a vetting process in place now where there's a pre-screening and a vetting and a checking of everything that gets released. So that is happening now, just to give you some assurance there. But I am personally very happy with our social media manager, because there's commitment, and we're already looking at new kinds of social media management strategies. I want to target areas like Twitch. We're improving our YouTube channel now. We're changing the kind of content that we're releasing out there as well. It's being improved, but I want to apologize that there should not be simple and minor grammatical errors on posts. It can look incompetent, and in terms of professionalism, it is unprofessional. But I've since addressed that, and we'll make sure that this is not an ongoing occurrence. Thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, this is something, Majid, that you and I speak about regularly. There is no excuse, in terms of grammar and spelling mistakes and, using the appropriate words at the right time. As far as I'm concerned, there is no, room for error when it comes to this, and it is something that, as you quite rightly say, need absolutely perfecting. It's just unnecessary, and like you just quite rightly said, Majid, it just comes across as pure incompetence, and
Yeah,
it's unnecessary. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with that.
absolutely. Great. Any
So
other
yeah,
questions or comments as
yeah.
well?
Hi. I have a question. In fact, I got in Taboo in the token a couple of weeks ago, just before Christmas,
Yep.
and I've been seeing that y'all have been around for some time. I got in even without looking at the white paper because I liked the means the idea was good. I read about it, and I just invested a small amount and then I topped that up. But now, given so this is my first VC session with you all.
Yep.
So I was looking at your white paper. So are any of the utilities available like staking? I've seen that was part of Q3 2021. Are any of those utilities available? Means those
Yeah.
features.
Yeah. So staking is available right now on the marketplace. So is farming. Again, from we had a first beta launch that didn't go as planned. There was a lot of bugs and errors that went on, and since then, you know any of those singular cases from particular holders that have dealt with issues are being addressed on a case by case basis. But we have, I think, almost 130 million Taboo stake now. It goes up a couple million every single day. That is probably one of the most successful utilities that not only have we launched, but has been in place. But any ongoing minor issues that people are experiencing, not based on your question, not only is it getting rectified, I'm putting an active hand myself in the involvement to ensure that people's needs are met. So feel free to DM me personally on any issue that anyone experiences on the marketplace so that I can personally forward that case, make sure that your case is dealt with as swiftly as possible. But yes, to answer your question, there is staking available on the marketplace. There's a minimum lockup period of 3 months that needs to be in place for the staking, at which point you can unstake at will, or restake, or leave it staked, so to speak. And yes, that is on the
So
marketplace now.
yeah, so I have a follow-up question to that. So okay, wonderful. So I have not actually explored any of those. So maybe I will try them. But given that y'all are 9 months into the market, approximately 9 months, means what's the product roadmap? It's not staking and farming, is it? So what is the final product roadmap? And
Well, yes. So we've updated our roadmap on the website, the taboo.community, crypto informational landing page, quote unquote. Um, you know, what people need to remember is we are a crypto token project, but we are equally an entertainment company. When we say we're the Playboy of crypto, just think about what Playboy did, in previous years, which, you know, now we are not emulating them. We are our own brand, but there's more to our project than just the token price. In terms of our business model, we have a tiering system where if you hold a certain amount of Taboo, you will be able to get access to more exclusive content. So we are a premium brand that offers exclusive NFT and media type content as well. And the exclusivity is a key word there as well. You look at our model partners, they're the highest quality model partners. In fact, no quote unquote competition can ever have the kind of quality model partners that we have. And I did share with all of you that we are going to
so
transition into the amateur style, amateur type models that we onboard. So press, we are, think of us as a crypto token project with all the normal bells and whistles for utility for a crypto project like farming and staking and all of that. But we are equally an entertainment company. And this is why this year James
yeah,
and I
so
have
yeah, so my
events that we're
actually my
lining up.
question
Yeah.
was yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So basically, I understand that y'all are a utility company. That's why I was wondering. I mean, the name of the token itself gives you an idea in terms of what direction your product proposition is actually leading to. So in
Yeah.
fact, from the farming and from the mining and all that stuff, it is not actually the final product proposition in terms of where you would want to see your token go, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not the final proposition by any stretch of the word. Absolutely not. No, it's it's being involved with Taboo. Owning Taboo gives you the opportunity and chance to be immersed in the world of Taboo and come to live events and parties and potentially mansion parties that we're lining up this year, meeting models, doing what Playboy did, but we're doing it on blockchain and in decentralized fashion. So
Yeah, and
there's a
also
lot more to our
just to
project.
Yeah,
just
that's
to
awesome. So that is the one part I love the most in terms of bringing reality to with the digital means. That's awesome.
Sure, and
Yeah, and
also just to follow up, Majid, on what you just said, I mean, the project is constantly evolving. So
absolutely.
the brand Taboo, the brand itself, you know, is essentially it's never ending. It's constantly evolving. We have so many cards up our sleeve that are to play. Over the short term, like Majid just quite rightly said, with the Taboo mansions, the parties, we're going to be holding Taboo festivals for the Taboo punk holders. We're going to be doing meet and greets with the models. There's going to be exclusive parties for our tier 4 holders, which you can have a good understanding of what that is in the white paper. But there's a lot more things that can evolve from them. In terms of merchandise. We're even talking
Yeah.
about having Taboo private clubs around the world for members only. The actual name and the brand Taboo is so marketable, and it can it can open lots of doors, and it will constantly evolve, and we'll be constantly coming up with new ideas on how to grow that brand and how to keep pushing it forward. This is just the start at the moment for Taboo, but Majid and I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things up our sleeve that in due course and in time will inevitably be revealed.
Yeah, and to please, a lot of some of the crypto centric minded holders and all of that. I mean, we are going to have VR, virtual reality type, content coming in. We are going to target the metaverse later this year as well. There's a lot of exciting additional utilities on the crypto token side beyond what James has just mentioned as well. And for anyone that is not aware, we did acquire taboo.io, which is so we own the taboo.io domain, and we're going to be adding that as our primary website once our updated UI and UX is in place. And that was quite a heavy penny that we spent on that as well. So yeah, very good question there. Now Joshua had a question. Actually, it was a few weeks ago that it was about. I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, around there. CNBC, Fox, and Bloomberg, they wanted to do the record. They wanted to do the interview fairly quickly at that point. But James and I put a delay and a halt on that. And it's really our choice on when this interview happens, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, I
James,
mean,
you can correct me.
something that is also quite important to Majid and I is that, as far as I'm concerned, as I always keep saying, it is about maximizing the potential. And I don't think, our website cuts the cake. I'm not entirely happy with the UI design of the marketplace. There's a few things that I actually don't think cuts the cake. And I would
Absolutely.
prefer personally, and Majid is also in agreement with this, that let's actually wait. Let's get everything how we want it to be. We have just, forked out a considerable amount of money, like Majid just said, on the taboo.io domain. We have just also forked out a considerable amount of money on having a completely new, redesigned website. So that's going to be completely new and overhauled, which I believe, Majid, you sent some examples, and we, appreciated your guys' feedback about that. We've made a few tweaks now to that off the back of the feedback that we got from you guys. We're taking action. All of these things, it is going on behind the scenes. And that's why I say to you, this stuff isn't essentially price impacting stuff, but what it's actually doing is it's setting us up and putting us in a position for the, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for the future growth of the project, and to be able to utilize and maximize the potential of these marketing campaigns that, you know, are around the corner, to be able to make the most of them.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. Good. Any other questions or actual feedback
Actually,
that you'd like to share?
guys, would I be able to just jump in quickly here? I'm Matthew. Nice to meet you all.
Very nice
Majid
to meet you
and
as well.
James, it's been great to listen to you guys. I can see you're very passionate about your project, and it's really nice to see that. And I can see you've got a very hands-on approach. Well done, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you.
I actually work for an exchange myself, Walito. I have actually been in your group for maybe a couple of weeks now, and very much closely monitored you guys, and actually really like your project a lot. I wanted to ask you about your plans for being listed on a centralized exchange, and whether or not that is in your roadmap and a goal of yours.
Yeah, so we're listed on already, I think 5 or 6 exchanges right now.
Are they all DEXs or CEXs?
CEXs, yeah. So
Oh, amazing.
So, what you can do is just type /marketing in the main chat, and then you can send in a proposal if you're working for an exchange, and if it's something that we feel fits in with our brand and what we're looking to do, then we will reach back out. So that we have a marketing proposal form for that. So thank you.
Okay, yeah, I believe I have filled it out, to be honest with you. I just noticed that you were doing the AMA today and thought it'd be a nice opportunity to talk to you guys directly as well.
Yeah.
And to just quickly see if you did have an interest at all, and maybe take it up a bit more privately.
Yeah, I mean, you can send me a DM after this, not a problem. I can review that. But one thing when it comes to exchanges, one thing that I've learned, and this is just, again, my experience, and especially my involvement in crypto projects, we're not sure we can list on 20 different exchanges right now, but it's about timing, and it's about not over diluting the token and the project by being on too many exchanges too fast. So it's decisions that we make for the betterment of the project as well. But feel free to DM me after, and I can review that.
I will definitely DM you, yeah, and I'll share with you a little bit about what we do and why we are a bit different to most exchanges. And we are a startup, so we don't have a massive user base at the moment, but we have quite a lot of plans actually to become a tier 1
Okay,
exchange.
Matthew, we look forward to hearing from you.
All right, mate, no problem. I understand.
To, utilize this efficiently and allow the community to, and our
James,
investors to.
You don't need to. I understand. No problem.
Thank you very much. But look,
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Great. Any other questions or feedback? Again, I have a notepad out for anyone that wants to give feedback as well.
Hello, Majid. May I ask a quick question?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Yeah. Hello, Majid. Hello, James. Pleasure to hear you. Well, you know that I'm a long-term supporter of this project.
Lovely to hear from you.
The following question. Did you think about attaching certain licensing to the NFTs which you are selling on the marketplace? Because, say, can people use them for what kind of purpose? Commercially, educational, non-profit. In the long term, it may build a certain really outline, I would say, a certain value around NFTs, and maybe even you may have additional price points for additional kind of license attached to the NFT, that kind of stuff. Did you think about it?
I haven't thought about that in particular. One thing that we have done so far, this is one of the reasons why you haven't seen, we have a lot more content that could be on the marketplace right now, but we're focusing on creating more timeless art NFTs as well. So not just regular JPEG type NFTs. So, we want to have animated type NFTs and 3D moving NFTs, as well as just, NFTs that have a particular flair about them that when people buy them, they feel, wow, this is timeless. This is a timeless piece of art. But feel free to send me some of your ideas in a DM. I know you personally as well, Lardy. So I'm happy to hear more about that. You can send me a DM about it. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Great. So we'll go on for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum. So if anyone has any more questions, feel free to share. Again, feel free to share feedback as well.
Hi guys. Well, thank you first of all. Yeah, for the direct feedback. Just a quick question regarding the staking. So there's now 16% annual per year, and
Correct.
if I got it right, the staking, the revenues come from the contract address, so the big bunch. But
Yeah, so actually, yeah, so we have an LP wallet, we have an LP tax and an LP wallet that we have, and so that's going to be funding the majority of it. And I've ran through the numbers. I mean, and I know that right now the staking is sustainable for the foreseeable future, because of course the tokens have to come from somewhere. So we are quote unquote funding the staking rewards ourselves. But what I will say is right now, staking is in a centralized fashion right now. However, down the line, we will eventually move to a decentralized fashion for staking with liquidity mining and all of that. It's just, you know, James and I are firm believers in you got to crawl before you can walk and before you can sprint, and you never want to bite off more than you can chew. And I think, having gone down that road of the DeFi system of staking and farming, I don't think we were ready for that yet, and we will phase that in at a later time where we can educate and market it properly to the correct entities that will help fund it. So it's just I put a halt on that. But to answer your question, yes, we have a marketing wallet, we have a development wallet. We haven't even touched any of that at all, which speaks to the honestly how clean our BSC scan is when people look at it. And James and I want to keep that clean, and we understand that when we have skin in the game, we work even harder. And so we're happy to keep self-funding that. But we have our LP wallet that supports it. So 4% tax. Now it's 3% in our tokenomics on buys and sells is going to an LP wallet, which has helped us fund exchange liquidity. And it's also going to help fund staking rewards.
okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem. And I think Aaron had a question. Yeah, it's actually available right now. Like we can upload video and GIF type NFTs. Like I said, it's just right now we're in the process of doing a new photo shoot in the next few weeks. This is a photo shoot which I'm thinking this former head of Playboy magazine can ease himself in to a relationship with Taboo with us. He's very excited. I haven't given the confirmation on this person yet. I would rather take it slow with them myself. But yes, you can do video and GIF type NFTs. Again, like I said, we haven't uploaded it all yet, just because I want to make sure there's even better editing in place and for these types of NFTs before we release them to the public. So that'll all be coming in the next few weeks. So good question. Great. Any other questions? We'll take a few more and then, yeah, go on.
Hey, hi, Majid. This is Ujjwal.
Nice to meet you.
I have a feedback. Right from November, when we tried to launch the marketplace in the beginning, I have been observing that most of the challenges we faced are from the technological point of view. Okay, because you guys are great at marketing, you guys are great at business planning and everything. But from the technology point of view, I've seen every hurdle that we face is more about marketplace was not designed properly. The look was good, but the functionality was not proper. Then the UI UX. Then where will the staking rewards will come from? All those are crypto technology related aspects, right? We all can't be good at everything, like you or me or James or anyone. But I think that's one area I think we need to support the team at a level. That's what my feedback is.
James and I are well aware of that. Trust me on this. We're well aware of that. You're only as good as your tech. And that's once the updated UI and UX is in place, James and I are going to onboard a new development team. They're already ready, but we may even just go with 2 development teams because again, you're only as good as your tech, especially with a project of this nature right now. And so in terms of investment on our end, investing in our tech is probably the biggest investment that we can make at this moment. And so we may phase them out fully or just bring in additional dev support and have on the clock 24-hour maintenance on this. So, one dev team will be at a different time zone, at a different time of the world. They will be there to work. And then we have another dev team that's also more crypto centric, and they work alongside each other. So James and I are going to be doing that. It's just a matter of when. I want to make sure that this dev team finishes their deliverables, at least on version phase 1 of our marketplace, at the very least, because we did pay a significant sum of money on that contract with them, and they need to get that done. And from there, I have no problems replacing them, honestly. No
Yeah,
problem.
exactly right. Ujwal, you hit the nail on the head. This is something that Majid and I have spoken about regularly, and ultimately that's why we took action fast. So, in answer to your question, yes, there is a new dev team. Yes, they are going to be working in parallel initially because, we don't want to cut our nose off to spite our face. And then it will all inevitably be, where it needs to be, running how it needs to be ran, and it will be working like clockwork. That I can assure you of. And Majid and I and the rest of the team will be able to get back to ultimately doing what we do best.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thanks both of you for taking this feedback. Okay, what I was pointing out is development team takes direction from the strategic management, right? So if you are going into metaverse in the later part of the year and otherwise, I think from that point of view, you need a management bandwidth who is more tech focused. Okay, the development teams you will hire. Okay, you can put them. You have to give them direction. They'll work as much as you give them direction on, right? So I'm not sure in the Taboo team we have a senior management who is well clued up in the technology part of it, right? If it's not there, then this development teams may or may not screw up, right? And then you'll have to keep doing it, redoing it, and you end up spending a lot more and more money and waste time over a period of time. So from the management point of view, maybe as a consultant or somebody, I believe, okay, could do well for us to do things faster and cheaper and in much better way, right? And that's the
Yeah.
feedback
So
I
I
want
will, answer that. And just all you have to know is this. I mean, when I say we're onboarding new personnel and interviewing individuals and strategizing on that, a new CTO will be coming in, and then they will be that single point of content on the management side that you're talking about. So, and we have internal quote unquote CTO like people that we work with internally, but we will have an external one. So just again 3 words for everyone: things take time. That's all it is. Things take time. That's as long as you remember these 3 words, then at least you can manage your own expectations on Taboo. So thank you, Ishwal. I have a few other questions in the chat. I will answer those last 2 questions, and then I'm going to wrap this call up. So thank you. So somebody said, ETA for the punks this or next month. I'm anticipating. I want to launch it this month. I think we're right there and close to that. Please don't shoot the messenger if it doesn't, right? But we're very close. I mean, we're not talking a month here. We're just talking about right now I'm at the stage of just getting the clear launch date. So let me do that. Give me the next few days. That's really all I need at this point. And then, we will release a clear launch date, and then we will continue to market around that. So bear with me on this. I believe we should be able to by the end of this month, and this is what I'm aiming for. So, but I'm aiming for it. So again, do not shoot the messenger, please. We all know why James and I are taking the time we need to strategize on this, because we understood launching 10,000 NFTs in a collection like this, it's no different than marketing an independent crypto project. It is
Of course,
literally
and at the same time, Majid,
thing.
a fundamental point for the community to understand is, yes, it's all good and well launching them on OpenSeas and everybody's got their punks. Wow, fantastic! But
Yeah.
let us get this fantastic, great big marketing campaign we have lined up with the likes of, Rarity, these NFT platforms that we've got, you know, that are going to promote our Taboo punks. Let's get all of this so it all launches simultaneously, so it makes the impact that we want it to make. These Taboo punks, for us and for this project, can open up a whole new, you know, ballpark for us. This, you know, we've tried to strategize this and do this cleverly. There's nobody else that's done something like this. Let us get these marketing campaigns lined up. Let's get them going, because ultimately it is going to have, you know, impact on the price of Taboo and the price of the Taboo punk. So it's a no-brainer for each and everybody. Just to, if it does take an extra day or so, who cares? You know, it doesn't matter, because it's going to reward you in more ways than one. So obviously, you know, to do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I couldn't agree more. Great. Great. So there was one other question there. How is, I don't even understand the question. How is the project money fluidity have you to buy, to eat and drink? I don't understand the question, so I can't answer that. Something about me eating and drinking for the models.
I think he's basically saying, how is the project money? So basically, how does the project fund itself in terms of marketing and development? And how do the models eat and drink? Because obviously we're paying them and ourselves. So basically asking where the funds are coming from for the project to run, I presume, and where the funds are being obtained to be able to participate in all these marketing campaigns, and how we've got to the stage of how we've invested, you know, north of $3 million, $4 million. Well, basically, it's self-funded. Everything's been self-funded right up to now. And that's it.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's absolutely, it's just that simple. Yeah. Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay, great. I think this is a good time to wrap up the call. We've been here for just over an hour now. Again, James and I, we thank our community for showing their undying loyalty and support. What we ask is for the hard work that we're putting in helping grow your investments, in helping build this brand, and helping all of us get to that point of financial freedom, which is what we all really want out of this anyway. You know, meet us halfway. Let's all work together. Show some respect for what we're doing as well. I need to make that very clear. I do not want to hear outlandish claims anymore, and nonsense comments about the Taboo team and this and that, which has no basis in truth. But let's support each other. Let's make sure the tempo in the chats is one that is conducive to invite new investors to want to invest. Because at times, that chat, if I was a new investor coming in and learning about Taboo, since we are in a price discovery phase, given our ranking on CMC, you know, people search on CMC for projects at our market cap. And when they come in, we want to, let's make it an inclusive, warm, and positive environment, please. And again, 3 words, I'll keep it simple. Things take time. Things take time. And we're just starting the year, and there is a lot to look forward to. And at the end of the day, on any investment, you are equally investing not only in the idea, but the team to deliver and execute. So you either believe in James and I, or you don't. That is a decision that you need to make. That is all I need to share there at the moment. Thanks again, everybody, for your time. And we look forward to chatting with you all soon. Thanks again.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Good night.